Have you ever wondered how to decorate for Christmas? Try out a new trend or decorating idea, but still stay on a budget? That's exactly what I'm going to share with you today on Dear DIY Mommy. Trina on Instagram asked, do you have a new theme every Christmas? How do you incorporate trends? You don't have to buy everything new for holiday decorating. The items that you reuse year after year can be your decorating base for Christmas. And then if you want, you can mix in inexpensive, trendy, or interesting accents to create a new look year after year. As much as I like trying new trends every year for Christmas, I do even more like to try to stay on a budget. I don't want to be buying tons of Christmas stuff every year as much as brands and influencers want us to. So what I like to do and what I recommend is investing in more of a neutral base of Christmas items. So I don't mean neutral as in just neutral colors like white, gray, brown, etc. But I mean neutral as in like timeless, classically Christmas items that can be reused every year. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite items that you can use year after year. I think these are timeless. I've used these for 5, 6, 7, up to 10 years in a row, and I think they have looked good every year. Number 1 is realistic looking faux greenery. I've been using my pine and cedar faux garlands for years and years, whether they're flocked or whether they're the more natural looking ones. You can place these on a fireplace mantle, you can wrap them around stairwells, you can place them over top of doorways. I've even wrapped one around a lamp base to create sort of a different looking Christmas tree. And you can always add elements to these garlands to make them look different year after year. So you could add different colored ornaments into them, you could add natural elements. You could even find a garland that has pine cones, that has like white berries, and those are both classic items within the garland that you could use year after year. So I'll make sure to link to some of my favorite faux garlands down in the show notes. Check out thediymommy.com/podcast for the show notes for this episode if you want to check out some garlands. Again, though, what I am trying hopefully to communicate with this podcast is to build this base of Christmas classics that you can reuse year after year. So if you already have some faux greenery garlands, that's for sure the first thing I would recommend before going out and buying them. But in my experience, in my opinion, spending a little bit more on a realistic looking faux garland that you can use for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, pass that down, is going to be a good investment for your Christmas decor. The next timeless element I think you can reuse every year are strands of fairy lights or strands of twinkle lights. You can buy these off of Amazon with like a copper wire, a silver wire, a gold wire. You can even find these at places like Dollar Tree. You can find them at big box stores too. So these are fantastic for so many different places in your Christmas home. You can wrap them around the garland that I just mentioned. You can even add them to your Christmas tree to give your tree more of a magical looking sparkle. You can put them in centerpieces. You can wrap them around wreaths. You can also put them in a DIY Christmas cloche. Next thing that's classic that I have never regretted buying, I've used year after year, is any decor that is white in color or gold in color. White and gold seem to be the two colors, and they're not even really colors. They're very neutral tones that I can put in any Christmas theme that I've ever done, and they look good. So whether I'm doing like a whimsical vintage inspired theme with rainbow colors, there's always a spot for my white and gold accents. Or if I'm doing something maybe more Nordic inspired, very soft colors, all whites and faux furs and things, the white and gold looks good there too. So some items to look for in white and gold would be candlesticks, dishware, flatware, Christmas stockings, candles, ribbon, and throw pillows and throw blankets. The next item that I think would stand the test of time year after year is a really good faux Christmas tree. Now, kudos to you if you use a live Christmas tree every year. That's fantastic. I might do that this year or next year, not sure. I actually only ever used faux with our family because I usually have to set my Christmas decor up so early to photograph it and video it for the blog and the YouTube channel. Plus, I find they're a lot easier for me to maintain because I'm not having to sweep up pine needles and everything. However, real trees are, of course, so beautiful. They're definitely more environmentally friendly. However, if you can buy a really good faux Christmas tree, you should be able to use that for years and years to come. So some things to look for that I like in a fake Christmas tree is a mix of PVC and PE plastic type branches. So the PE branches are those more realistic looking molded branches that are going to make the tree look more natural. Also, I think if you can find a minimum of 1,000 lights on the tree, so I'm talking about like the average sized tree, about 7.5 feet tall, 7 feet tall, and then something with a minimum of about 2,000 branch tips, that is going to be a beautiful looking Christmas tree. And then the final element that I think stands the test of time year after year in Christmas decor is anything natural. So I'm talking about whether you're using pine cones from the yard or you're drying orange slices. I have a blog post, I have a video all about that if you're curious to know. I will link that in the show notes. Anything like that you can find in nature is going to stand the test of time, and you can mix and match that with so many different Christmas decor styles. I've used pine cones in all sorts of Christmas stylings over the years, and the same goes for dried fruits like dried orange slices. So we talked about this base layer of Christmas decor items that you can save up for or kind of accumulate over the years. You don't have to buy them all right now. You can accumulate them over the years. So how do we freshen those up each year if we do like Christmas decor trends, if we do want to try a new look every year? Caveat, you do not have to make your Christmas decor look different every year. I know that's something that a lot of us are tempted to do or feel the pressure to do, watching social media, because we see all these beautiful homes that are different every year. But just because people on the internet are doing it, please don't feel the pressure to do that for you and your family if that's not something you want to do. If you have a specific way you decorate your Christmas tree, you decorate your home for Christmas every year, and that repetition of those elements every year is what you love and what your family looks forward to, definitely do that. For me and my family, we do redecorate differently every year because number one, we enjoy it. My girls love decorating, so they'll love to pick out a color scheme or a feel for the family room every year. And number two, I do like to come up with fresh new ideas for you as you watch my YouTube channel, listen to the podcast, and read the blog. So here's how you can incorporate a little bit of a different twist to your decor if you want to every year. So you start with that timeless base of Christmas decor. So we just talked about that. So the white and gold things, the high quality faux greenery, those natural elements. And then you can add in small, inexpensive pieces to that decor to totally change up the look. So here are some pieces that I think completely change the feel of your Christmas decor that are inexpensive and usually really easy to find. So the first one that I love probably the most, because I love textiles, is ribbon. So you can put ribbon in your Christmas tree. You can create ribbon bows, tie them on top of your stockings, add them to wreaths. You can twirl them around a centerpiece. You can use it to wrap your gifts. Ribbon is inexpensive. You can usually find some deals at Michael's. They often have a 2-for-1 sale. Buy them off Amazon. I'll make sure to link to my favorite ribbons on the DIYmommy.com/podcast. And you can get a different color, texture, sheen, and that's going to change the look of your Christmas decor. The second one is Christmas ornaments. So you might have a base of white and gold ornaments or just neutral colored ornaments, and then just buy a pack of 12 red ones. Throw those on the tree. It's going to make your tree look so different. You can also use ornaments in centerpieces. You can use them in wreaths. You can use them hanging from your banister, so many different ways. And you can find them at the dollar store, Walmart, thrift store. So they don't have to be expensive. The next thing is textiles like throw pillows and throw blankets. So even just one patterned or colored pillow, placing that amongst all of your neutral pillows that you want to keep year after year, that's going to make a difference. So a red pillow on white looks so much different than, say, a fluffy faux fur white pillow amongst other white pillows. Totally different looks, just one thing has changed. And the final inexpensive element I think you can add if you want to try a different Christmas look is gift wrap. Inexpensive, you can buy nice recyclable paper gift wrap, and you can play with colors, patterns, textures, and you have to wrap gifts anyway, so why not make it a part of your decor to really change the look of your space? So I've done everything from brown paper, packages tied up with strings, to more whimsical colored and patterned wrapping paper. And then of course you can play with different bows and toppers on your gifts as well to create a whole new look. So if you are interested in trying out some of 2021's Christmas trends, here are some that I've been seeing that I really enjoy. I see so many people using those vintage, rustic looking gold bells. Those are so beautiful, and I think they're quite timeless too. Lots of Christmas decor this year is very rustic and natural in feel, which I think is so beautiful. People are going for more of a simple look, which I find to be really nice if you want that clutter-free feeling, if you have a smaller space. People are also using lots of natural looking greenery and also jewel tones. So jewel tones are those deep colors like deep purple, burgundies, golds, and greens. And I'm seeing a lot of greens this year, whether it's like sage green all the way down to a deep emerald green. Also seeing a lot of masculine look patterns. So that's like plaid patterns or stripes. And then finally, a lot of natural fibers. So we're talking linens, wools, cottons, and things like that. So those are my thoughts on how you can decorate for Christmas on a budget, even if you want to incorporate trends. Just try to collect that base layer, and I hope you don't feel the pressure to continually buy new stuff and a whole bunch of new stuff every Christmas. If you do love trends like me, there is that way to just add in those small and expensive touches to that base layer of Christmas decor you already have to create a totally new look. Now it's time for this week's challenge. I want you to think about your Christmas decor this year. I know some of you have started already thinking about your decor. I know some of you don't really want to touch it until December. I know some of you don't decorate for Christmas at all, so you can apply this to a different holiday of your choosing. Think about Christmas decor. Think about what you might want your theme for Christmas decor to be this year, whether it's the same as all of the rest of the years that you celebrated or if you want to do something different. Make a list of the decor that you can reuse again this year. And maybe out of the list that I shared, is there something that you could add to your base layer of Christmas decoration? Something that you could perhaps look into purchasing this year or next year or whenever you can, and create that base layer of timeless Christmas decor that you can use year after year. So collect that list and let me know under today's show notes. That's at thediymummy.com/podcast. If you have a question for my podcast, I would love to hear it. Please submit a question that's DIY related, decor related, or even life related, content creator business related. I'd love to hear those too. You can submit those also at thediymummy.com/podcast. Thanks so much for listening and happy DIYing.